Good afternoon, everyone. As Debbie mentioned, my name is Thomas Graham. I'm the president of the Pepco region. Thank you for joining us today. Uh, my notes say it's a hot day, but it's a relatively mild day. We wanted to talk to you really about the storms again and our response. There's certainly been a lot of conversation over the last few weeks in regards to the first storm on the 25th of July, where we had about 323,000 customers out of service. There was another little storm later on in that week that kind of threw us off track. And then we also had storms on August 5th and August the 12th. They're of great concern to us from the perspective that our customers are out of service. And I understand their frustration. We have the same frustration. To be out of service, electric service, for several days, it's a major inconvenience. To have to rebuild our system 3 times in 2.5 weeks, it's a source of frustration for us as well. But what we want to do, and it kind of got lost in the conversation the other day at the Maryland Public Service Commission hearing, is we want to talk about a plan that we've been building over time, and now it's more formalized, and it's a 6-point plan, and it deals with all aspects of service reliability. But I can tell you, this is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And what we're going to ask our customers to do through this process, and our elected officials, and you, is to be patient. Because it's going to take, this is a 5-year plan. Some aspects of that plan are already in play. Other aspects will start. What I want to be able to do, not today, but at some point, be able to tell you exactly what communities we'll be working in. And then I also want to encourage you to follow us and hold us accountable for our work. And if that means we coordinate and you come to a site where we're doing some of the work that Mr. Gosman is going to talk about shortly, we don't have a problem with that. We want this to be a very transparent process. It's very important to us, and it's very important to our customers. Over the next 5 years, we're going to spend about $256 million on reliability, and that's an additional $100 million investment. And we're doing that because we know it's that important for our customers. We heard them, we've read the letters, we sat in the hearing. The exchange with the Public Service Commission on Tuesday was a good exchange and was valuable for us. And the letters that we received from our customers, that's been very valuable information to us. And we take it very seriously, and that's why we're making this increased commitment to service reliability. Some of the measures, again, they've already been in place. Some are going to be accelerated. Some of them are going to have to do with working on trees at very high levels. And if you have a 40 to 50 foot tree that overhangs a wire, that's going to be part of that whole hardening process. Bill's going to talk to you about what we're going to do with supply feeds on substations. He's going to talk about enhanced vegetation management. He'll talk about how we're going to deal with load growth in the future. But he's going to be very specific, not only with the types of projects that we're working on, but the expenditure in each area. So all this, I think, is going to be important for our customers and important for you. And again, those areas, vegetation management, we are priority feeders. Every year we look at the 2% least performing feeders. There's 13 of those feeders in Maryland, 8 are in Montgomery County, 5 are in Prince George's County. Although we're specifically talking about more so Montgomery County today, our desire for service reliability is across our whole service territory. So that's Prince George's County, and that's also the District of Columbia. Because of the specific events that have taken place over the last few weeks, we're going to deal with our reliability enhancement plan for Montgomery County today. Load growth, I mentioned that. This area continues to grow. We have to grow with it, and that's our responsibility. And we're going to talk about what plans we have to meet load growth. Accelerated deployment of distribution automation. As many of you know, We've been very fortunate to receive a lot of federal money lately to put in distribution automation, to fully deploy AMI. So in total, for Pepco, it's about $150 million. And because of the partnership with DC government, with the council, with the mayor's office, with the Public Service Commission, and then moving into Maryland, we just received approval in Maryland for the full deployment of AMI. So in total, that's about $150 million. $45 million in the district and $105 million in Maryland. So Bill's going to touch on that a little bit and really talk about what that means. You know, how that will, and the way I look at it, is improve the quality of our customers' lives. A really good example that I was shown a couple months ago, through this distribution automation equipment that we already have in the field. We had a group of customers in Prince George's County that maybe about 1,200 or so of those customers were out of service. Within a 51-second period, we were able to move that 1,200 number down to just a couple hundred customers by rerouting service. Do I think that's of great benefit to our customers? Absolutely. And I think our customers will agree with that. But those are some of the things that we're looking for. We're looking at underground cable replacement. That is another measure that we're looking at. We've been doing a pretty aggressive program since 2007. We're going to continue that process, and Mr. Gosman is going to talk about exactly what that means. Then finally, selective undergrounding and substation supply feed hardening. We've talked about undergrounding before and what that means in terms of a cost. We have 14,000 aerial miles of cable at a cost anywhere from $3.5 million to $11 million a mile. We believe that's cost prohibitive to underground our entire system. But what we do think is something that should be considered is selective undergrounding in areas where we've tried a number of measures. And even though we've tried those measures, we have not been able to achieve the type of results that we want to achieve. We'll look at selective undergrounding. There's been also a lot of discussion about the frail nature of our substations, and we're here today at a Linden substation. We don't have an issue with the infrastructure of our substation. What we have an issue with, and we have a concern, is usually in every substation there are about 2 or 3 69 kV supply feeds that go into the substations. Trees from out of the right-of-way are coming in contact and knocking those supply feeds out. In July, we had 4 substations that were shut down. This particular one wasn't shut down, but about 8 of the 12 or 14 feeds out of it were out of service. During other storms, 8 substations have been shut down. So is that an area of vulnerability for us? Yes, it is. And that's why we're going to look at hardening those supply feeds. So at this time, I'm going to turn the microphones over to Mr. Gosman, who is going to provide you with a detailed explanation of what our reliability enhancement plan means. And again, I want to encourage you, hold us accountable, track us through the process. We want to work with you. We want to work with our elected officials. But most importantly, we want to work with our customers.